Well, a good morning. Thanks for tuning in to the Gardener's Corner program, a Friday feature here on WKRX 96.7 FM and TV Channel 10 that can be found on Charter Communications Channel 191. My name is Rob Hall. Glad to have you along on the Gardener's Corner program, brought to you today by the Lloyd Granville Agricultural Heritage Association's 9th Annual Harvest Show that's going to be taking place in Butner. Actually, it starts 1 week from today. That'll be October 2nd, runs on Saturday, October 3rd, and Sunday, October 4th. They'll be featuring Corbett tractors and trucks and all kinds of antique tractors, engines, and the list goes on. We'll give you more information on the 9th Annual Lloyd Granville Agricultural Heritage Association show coming up in a few minutes. We're also brought to you by South Boston Memorials. Halifax County Fair, that's going to be in South Boston. That's going to be coming up on Tuesday, October the 6th through Saturday, October the 10th. Always fun at the Halifax County Fair. Right there, Highway 360 East, right behind South Boston Speedway. Again, the fair dates Tuesday, October 6th through Saturday, October 10th. And we're also brought to you today by T.G. Brooks Company, located in Timberlake since 1936. Without further ado, please make welcome the whisperer of flowers, shrubbery, plants, and trees, Mr. Carl Cantalupi from the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service, where he divides his time between Person and Granville counties. And a good morning to you, Mr. Cantalupi, the whisperer. And look, one of our listeners last week sent me a text message, and he said, Carl is the whisperer of plants and trees. And I said, I'm going to use that.
It reminds me of a cartoon when I was a kid. I think it was featured with Rocky and Bullwinkle. It was Clyde Crashcup was the professor. He was a tall, thin guy, and his assistant was Leonardo. It was a real short guy. And when Leonardo would talk to Clyde Crashcup, he would go up to his ear and goes, and then Clyde Crashcup would translate what he said.
But I thought that was pretty good. I sure did. And so, anyway, he has many different names around here. We call him Dr. CC, the Big Kahuna, the Johnny Appleseed of asparagus, and I think that's about all. That's all the ones we can mention on the radio.
Right, but never call me late for dinner.
That's right.
That's right.
We are live in the studio today. If you've got a question for Carl, feel free to give us a call, 336-599-0266. Got several things we're going to talk about today. But before we get into all that, getting some much needed rain.
Yes, very, very nice. Very, very, very much appreciated. That's for sure. Especially with certain plants in the landscape. The one that I like to talk about is the swamp sunflower. They really like a lot of soil moisture, and especially now because they're just starting to bud. And pretty soon, the plants at my house will be in full flower. But they really do need the water.
Well, I understand that we're a couple of inches of rain behind in rainfall already, and so I know it had gotten pretty dry. We've got a caller.
Okay.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the Gardener's Corner program.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing today?
I got several questions, 2 or 3 part questions, whatever.
Okay.
On blueberry bushes, how about, do you have to have 2 of those?
Okay, I couldn't make out what the plant was. It was kind of mumbled. Say that again.
What kind of bushes are you talking about, sir?
Blueberry bushes.
Blueberry.
Okay, yeah.
Do you have to have 2 different kinds?
Yes, you do. 2 different varieties for good cross-pollination.
Okay, I've got a home bale and a bright view and a sunshine blueberry bush. Is that one any better than the other for this area?
Okay, name the varieties again.
Bright View, and a Sunshine.
Okay, where did you get these plants from?
These plants, I don't have them. They are at Lowe's.
Oh, okay, they're at one of the department stores.
Yes, sir.
And you wanting to know about purchasing them.
Right, yeah, I just want to know, is there one there are two in the better for this area?
Okay, those varieties are not familiar to me. I don't know. What you want to get are varieties called that are in the oh boy, senior moment here.
I got the senior moment too.
Yeah. You want the rabbit eye type, of blueberry. So if when you're looking on the tag, see if it says rabbit eye or
rabbit eye.
yeah, that's the type of. That's not the
Okay.
variety. It's not the variety. It's the type of blueberry.
I got your rabbit eye type.
Right.
The type of.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We need two of those, two different kinds.
That's correct. The most common rabbit eye blueberries that do well in the area would include Tiff Blue, Powder Blue, Climax, Premier. These are all good rabbit eye types. So see if you can find those, and those would be the best varieties for our area.
Climax, and what was a couple of the others like quick?
Powder Blue.
Powder Blue.
And Tiff Blue, T-I-F.
T-I-F.
Blue.
Blue.
Premier.
P-R-E-M-I-E-R.
Right.
I got forward. I ought to be able to.
And or Climax.
I got Climax.
Okay.
All right, one of those, two of those four anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how about a grape?
What kind of grape? A bunch grape or a muscadine?
Yeah, a bunch grape. Concord is the name brand.
Okay, no. Concord does not do well in the South because it's just a characteristic of the variety. They tend to ripen unevenly, so you'll have ripe grapes in the cluster as well as unripe grapes. If you want a Concord type, get Sunbelt. Sunbelt, S-U-N-B-E-L-T. Mm-hmm. And if you can't find that locally here, I can give you sources that you can order them. You're not going to be able to find them at this time of the year. You'll have to order them as dormant plants, and just give us a call at 599-1195, and we can recommend or give you different sources of that Sunbelt variety.
Sunbelt, S-U-N-B-E-L-T. All right. Now, do I need one of those or two of those?
One would be perfectly fine.
Okay, G-R-A-P-E. Okay. One more question.
Uh-huh.
How about a fig bush?
Okay, two varieties that do well in our area would include the brown turkey.
Okay, I got that.
All right, and the boy, my mind is going today.
And I was thinking brown turkey, but I can't think of the other variety.
Okay, now, Lowe's, this place I have, it's a C-E-L-E-S-T.
That's the other one.
Celeste.
Celeste. Very good, yes.
Celeste, yeah.
Either of those. And you can have just one by itself.
One by itself. Okay. That's some good information I needed today.
Okay.
We appreciate your call. Some good questions.
Okay, I probably will be calling you about these the grapevines.
Yes. Okay. All right, sir. That'll be good. That'll be good. Uh-huh.
All right, have a blessed day
Hey,
now.
you too.
All right,
Thanks
you
for your
too.
call. Have a good day. I got another caller. Good morning. Thank you for calling the Gardeners Corner program.
Yes, I got a question about a Myers lemon tree.
A Meyer lemon. Okay. All right.
I've got one that's just a little over waist high.
Okay.
And it's the first year or two I had it, it would bloom in the spring, and I'd have lemons in the fall or winter.
Mm-hmm.
And now this thing has got lemons on it that's just about ripe. It's got lemons that's about half what they ought to be. It's got little bitty lemons on it, and now it's blooming again.
Okay.
What's causing that?
That is just a natural characteristic of the citrus genus.
It is?
Yes, you will have fruits as well as flowers and blooms at the same time.
Well, do I need to pick some of those lemons off of that tree? Or?
Well, what you pick the ones that are matured. Are the large ones still green, or have they turned yellow?
They haven't turned plum yellow. They just starting to turn yellow. But it's only 4 of those.
Okay, well, just wait until you get a nice yellow color, then pick those. And no, don't pick the blossoms off. That's fine, and they'll mature later.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Hey,
Thanks for
appreciate
calling.
your call. Thanks. Some good questions to start the show off
Excellent
with.
questions. Yeah.
But yes, Carl, back to the rainfall. We hate that it's kind of messing up some plans that people may already have. And, this past Wednesday was the first day of fall. And, this time of the year, it's a lot of community and different events going on. And the weather is certainly going to dampen some of those. But it had gotten quite dry, and we were in need of some rain.
Definitely, yeah.
Again, we are live in the studio today, 336-599-0266. If you've got a question for Carl, feel free to give us a call here at the station. Again, that number, 336-599-0266. Tell you what, Carl, before we get into a few other things, let's take a break and get a word on for the Lloyd Granville Agricultural Heritage Association. This show actually takes place not far from where Carl resides at. And this will be the 9th annual Harvest Show. We'll be back with more Gardener's Corner right after this message. Right. Are you someone that enjoys antique tractors and equipment? Why don't you make it your plans to be in the town of Butner coming up on Friday, October 2nd through Sunday, October 4th for the 9th Annual Harvest Show sponsored by the Lloyd Granville Agricultural Heritage Association. Antique tractors and equipment on display, hit-and-miss engines. They'll have a parade of power. Be sure to check out the farm shop, also Mama's Kitchen and Old Time Cooking. This year's show will be featuring Corbett trucks and tractors. For more information, log on to the World Wide Web at lgaha.com or call 919-528-1652. The show is taking place in Butner, North Carolina, the corner of 12th and G Streets. It's the 9th Annual Harvest Show sponsored by the Lloyd Granville Agricultural Heritage Association. $5 daily admission, children 12 and under free. Proceeds will support the scholarship fund. That's Friday, October 2nd, noon until 5. Saturday, October 3rd, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. and Sunday, October 4th, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. It's the 9th Annual Harvest Show sponsored by Lloyd Granville Agricultural Heritage Association. Here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program. My name is Rob Hall. Mr. Carl Cantalupi of the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service. Glad to have him as our resident expert.
Glad to be here.
And we've got another caller.
All right.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the Gardener's Corner program.
I have a fig bush,
Mm-hmm.
and it dives back every one up to the ground,
Yeah, cold injury. Yep.
and then it runs up all over. I mean, it gets 6 foot, 7, 8 foot high in the
Yeah.
summer, and it has some figs on it, but I haven't had but one that matured this year.
Okay. Have you watered them at all?
No.
Okay, that's what you need to do, because the fig is 95% water. If you don't give it water, you won't get any.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I think it's getting some today.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This'll, the ones that are on the tree now, this will definitely help. But yeah, with figs, if they
That ain't like a tree. It just forks out.
That's
everywhere.
right. It's like a bush.
Yeah, it's regrowth from the bottom. So what you want to do in the winter, around late January or into February, you want to select the shoot that's the most upright and train it so that you've got a main trunk.
You mean cut them all out except one?
Except one, right? And you want to train branches to come off of that one, exactly, the one that's the most upright.
Well, how would you train it to limbs to come off of it? Just automatically?
It'll automatically do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Appreciate
All right.
your call. Have a good day. Yeah, Carl, speaking of the figs, we had one really big, huge fig bush, but we never cut it back or anything, but it was sitting right under the drip of a shed.
Mm-hmm.
So it always got plenty of water.
Yep.
Well, the cold winter that we had, it didn't look like it was going to come out, so we just went ahead and done away with it. And I kind of wish we wouldn't have.
Oh, yeah.
Because my sister, who lives right beside of us, she has about 4 fig bushes in her yard, and hers, came back, and hers has quite a few figs, but as the gentleman was just asking, I ride by there and check them, and they're not getting ripe, and I had wondered, was it because of water? And another thing, the figs that are on it are not any per se size.
Exactly. That's what happens. The tree just kind of withholds its energy from the fruit, because the fruit is on a tree, if it's going through a dry period, a fruit is like leaving a water faucet to drip. And that's the tree is going to do the things necessary to ensure its survival.
Yeah.
So it's not going to put any water into those figs. So you have to give it the water.
Well, Carl, I think we're all guilty, but I think you have been very diligent in trying to educate us how important water is to all vegetables and fruits. And reason being, I think you have said that fruit and vegetables are about 90% water.
Or more, yeah.
And if you're not giving them water when they need it, your harvest is going to be slim. And so that goes with pretty much any kind of vegetative, I guess, item, whether it's fruit or vegetables or anything. You need to try to maintain a constant soil moisture level instead of going from one end of the gamut to the other, meaning dry to soaking wet. But I know in certain places it's not quite as convenient to be able to water and do things. But that is, two of the biggest things, in my opinion, and what opinions are like, is do your soil samples and maintain a certain level of moisture. If you do those two things, that is a big part of the battle of raising anything.
Absolutely.
And then it's a lot of other things that comes along with it, but you need to know the soil you're dealing with, and then you need to have water that will take the nutrients of the soil into the plant, and the plant needs water to have fruits and things.
Yeah, I've been on home visits and looking at people's plants, and I mean, it's dramatic. During a dry season, people wonder why their blueberries are. Why are the fruit lying on the ground? Blueberries, grapes, you can just shake the plant and the fruits will just come right off. That's just excess baggage to a plant. If it's not getting any moisture, it's going to shed that unwanted fruit. People don't realize this, but you really do have to provide the plant with fruit. Mother Nature has done a great job of stacking water. That's exactly what you get when you harvest fruits and vegetables. You have water that has been stacked in different shapes.
That's right, in flavor.
That's.
But Carl, and many times I had talked to you about a situation this year about someone that I had talked to, and I had went to the place, and they said, I don't know what's going on with, my tomatoes and peppers and everything. And I looked and I said, I'm no expert. I said, but it looks to me
And the soil was bone dry.
yeah, I said, it looks like it needs water. He said, well, we just got rain the other day. I said, well, a little shower doesn't do it. And then you look down at the soil, and the soil is cracking open. So
Yep.
anytime you have a problem, you need to kind of do a process of elimination. Have I watered it lately? Has it rained lately? And, Carl, talks about the screwdriver test, and, we all like to think if we're not thirsty, nothing else is, but it's not really that way. So, but really, it is. Water is a big, big thing. And, when you plant these things, if you can't provide water, you really shouldn't even plant to begin with.
That's right. That's right.
Carl, I got a few questions, and then we're going to get into some topics.
All right.
What is good to control grass and weeds in some cool season vegetables such as collards, cauliflower, cabbage, and broccoli?
Okay, the product that you can use to control grassy weeds only, there's really nothing you can use that will control broadleaf weeds in vegetables. There's nothing that's selective that's going to kill your broadleaf weeds and not kill your vegetables too.
Okay.
But on the other hand, the herbicide Poast, P-O-A-S-T, is labeled for several different vegetables, so make sure that the cole crops, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, are on the label of Poast, and then you can use that.
Okay. All right, moving on to the next question. I had someone to call yesterday, and we had actually had a little conversation a few weeks ago about the ash borer, the emerald ash borer. And this person was telling me that they had a ash tree that had died in their, yard. And I said, well, I wonder, was it from the emerald ash borer? And they said, well, I don't know. But they called yesterday and said that some of the bark had fell off the tree.
That's a good indication. And could they see the galleries under the
Yes,
bark?
they could. They could.
That's true.
And so my lead-up question: did you see the light bulb go off in my head?
No, I must have. Yeah.
And my lead-up question is: if someone experienced this in their, forest around them, or the trees in their landscape or on their property, should they contact the Forestry Service?
They can, and they can recommend to them, I guess, how to dispose of the tree. But you can call the Extension Service too, and we'll ask you a bunch of questions to try to determine to see if that's what you have, or if it's due to something else.
And if you do experience, having problems with ash trees or any of the ash tree family trees, it would be a good idea for you to maybe alert your neighbors, because they may have ash trees as well. But you can call the Cooperative Extension Service office of Person County, 336-599-1195.
Yeah, if your tree does not show any symptoms, there are ways of controlling. There's one material that you could drench around the tree, and there's other methods that you actually have to hire an arborist to come out and do the injection system themselves. But first things first. Give us a call to find out if indeed that's what you have. So, and then you can go on from there.
Okay. Hey, we've got a caller. Good morning. Thank you for calling the Gardener's Corner program.
Yes, this is sort of a dumb question, but me and my neighbor was having an argument about where seedless watermelons come from.
Okay. Good question.
Well, I tell you what, before Carl gives you the answer, what were y'all saying?
I had no idea.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, Carl can explain it, and he has talked about that on the show, and I can't remember exactly, but it takes like the male and female. Is that how it goes, Carl?
Well, actually, a little more than that, and I'm gonna
Okay.
put up the slides here to show that, because actually in yesterday's Master Gardener class,
Y'all talked about it.
we were talking about it. So
Sir, do you have any other questions other than that?
No, that was only one, but can you plant them around Person County and everything, or?
oh, sure, yeah.
Yes, you just have to buy the more or less the plant or the seeds. But tell you what, if you will, we'll disconnect, and Carl will explain the seedless watermelons, and you can listen in to the answer if that's okay.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Thank you. Appreciate you calling. A good question. Okay.
Yeah, if I can, it looks like ever since last week, this computer has given me problems. If the slide that I look at looks fine on the TV. Well, I think I can see that from here.
But on Carl's computer, it looks
Like
about the
size-
size of a postage
looks
stamp.
and it looks like Japanese hieroglyphics, trying to decipher.
Yeah, it does. It's about the size of a postage stamp. And how in the
Yeah.
world you can read that, but luckily you've got a monitor you can read off of.
Right. Seedless watermelons are very popular. People love to eat them because, of course, you don't have to deal with the seeds. But in order to get a seedless watermelon produced, the chromosome number on a regular watermelon is termed a diploid. It has the 2X chromosome number. So we take a diploid, which is a 2X chromosome, and we cross it with a tetraploid, which is 4X. So a 2X crossed with a 4X yields a 3X, which is the seedless melon that is seedless. So the seedless watermelon is sterile, kind of like the mule.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what you do is that you cross those two, 2X with the 4X, and then you get the 3X produced, and that does have seed. So you plant the seed from that cross. Once you plant that seed, then that melon is seedless.
So you have to buy new seeds every year. You cannot save your seed from year to year.
That's right.
For the seedless watermelon.
That's right. Now, a hybrid triploid watermelons do not produce. I'm going to hang on just a minute here. Let's see. I'm going to do it this way. We're on the air, but just so I can read what I have here. Hybrid triploid watermelons do not produce sufficient pollen for normal pollination. So for commercial production, a normal seeded variety must be planted as a pollinator to supply the necessary pollen.
So you got to have at least one seeded watermelon.
Yeah, well, right. So it's best to use a pollinator that has a rind color that's distinctly different from the seedless type, so that you can distinguish the seeded variety from the seedless variety. So, in other words, if you have a seeded variety growing alongside a seedless type, and they look the same, you're not going to be able to tell the difference.
Which is which?
So choose a variety that is different. And now, for the home gardener, seed companies generally include a normal seeded variety to serve as a pollinator in the same seed packet.
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
So that eliminates that. But for commercial growers, they'll plant 3 or 4 rows of the seedless type, and then they'll plant a row of the seeded type. So it's like 3 to 1, 3 to 1. So they know.
Right, okay.
But still they also in the seeded variety will look distinctly different than the seedless
Okay.
type, so that they can can do it. The other thing is that the newest thing now that has come about, the pollinator type actually serves just to produce the pollen from the female flower, and it really doesn't provide much of a fruit. So it's just a variety that companies sell that serves to provide the pollen.
Okay.
And you don't have to worry about the fruit being produced off of that one.
So you would have that one in your garden that wouldn't have any watermelons per se at all on it.
Right. But if you did have it, it would be real inferior.
Carl, the kind of luck I would have sometimes, I would be putting on a watermelon seed spitting contest, and I would go pick up a seedless watermelon to get the seeds from.
There you go.
But that was a good question, and I know Carl has talked about the seedless watermelons before, and it's pretty interesting. Carl, I've got another question, and then we'll get a word on for South Boston Memorials.
All right.
Had someone ask about, is it possible to produce truffles in this area? And if so, how would one go about raising truffles?
Okay, a truffle is a type of mushroom that is called truffles. It's actually called the Perigord truffle. It's a mushroom that has been highly praised in France, and now supposedly it can be grown in the U.S. The truffle fungus is used to inoculate hazelnut trees or filbert trees when they're real small, and you can buy inoculated hazelnut trees and plant them outside, and then over a period of years, after going through a whole variety of things, you have to bring the soil pH up very, very high. And supposedly these inoculated filberts or hazelnut trees will produce truffles off of the roots, and they generally use dogs that sniff them out. And the dogs actually they'll go to a tree and actually do the digging with their feet, with their front feet. And there is an individual in North Carolina that, along with others, I assume, that sell inoculated filbert trees. So you buy the trees and then plant. So we can put you on to some sources for that. As far as I know, we actually do have a grower in the county that has inoculated trees with truffles, probably for about 5 or 6 years now, but have not heard of that person being successful. So.
Well, now, Carl, you said hazelnut, and then you say
filbert. Same thing.
So the filbert tree and the hazelnut tree is the same thing.
Same thing, right?
Okay. Well, thank you for clarifying that.
Sure.
Well, look, we get a word on for South Boston Memorials, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about several other interesting facts. And Carl just kind of, a little while ago before we went on air, just kind of told me what I'd been taught all my life about one thing is incorrect. And so we're going to share that information with you coming up in just a few minutes. But right now, we go to South Boston Memorials, located in South Boston. Nice, friendly people there to greet you. So here's a word from South Boston Memorials. South Boston Memorials, located 1439 Seymour Drive in South Boston, Virginia. They offer granite markers, monuments, and mausoleums. For more information, visit the website SoBoatMemorials.com or call 434-572-3859. South Boston Memorials have been in business and family-owned since 1958. In-house laser etching is available at South Boston Memorials. They have over 300 granite memorials in stock. For all of your granite markers, monuments, and mausoleums, stop in and see them right there at South Boston Memorials, located 1439 Seymour Drive in South Boston, Virginia, or call them at 434-572-3859 and visit the website SoBoatMemorials.com. That's South Boston Memorials, located 1439 Seymour Drive in South Boston. Here we are back on the Gardeners Corner program, and Carl, I just received a text from one of our listeners, and we was talking about the truffle and all that stuff. They wanted to know how about either a hot dog tree or a money tree. Any idea about either one of those varieties?
Well, I guess they've been doing research with hamburger and cheeseburger trees, and pretty soon they'll have the hot dog tree.
And then maybe the money tree will follow after
Well,
that?
this could be.
Well, that is some interesting information, and I'm sure you will keep us up to date as that information is released. But I'm sure
Oh,
right
yes.
now it's top secret, under wrap, so to speak.
That's right, under wrap in the in the wrapper.
All right, Carl. Just before we went to break, I made mention that you had told me something that I had been hearing all of my life, and you informed me that that is not true.
And that is?
About the hornets that we see in this area that nest in hollow trees have been referred to as Japanese hornets, but that is not true.
That's correct. The actual name for these insects are European hornets, and you can see on the TV here what a European hornet looks like. The term hornet is often used to refer to many of the wasps that build large papery nests. The most notable paper wasp is the bald-faced hornet and several species of yellow jackets, which are really wasps. In actuality, the only true hornet found in the U.S. is the European hornet, sometimes mistakenly referred to as the Japanese hornet, as you see. I can't repeat what I just heard. Here's a close-up of the European hornet. This is a better picture of it. And these are the ones that build nests in cavities, hollow cavities in trees.
Well, you know, Carl, that is what I've always called the Japanese hornet.
Right.
So it's a European
the
hornet.
European hornet. Yeah.
And they sting and they hurt.
Oh, they certainly do. Okay, we've got 2 calls waiting.
We do. Good morning. Thank you for calling the Garden Corner program.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a weeping cherry tree,
Mm-hmm.
and I know I've heard Carl Cantalupe say that it was like peach tree boas or something get in the fruit trees.
Yeah.
And mine already has the sap running out of it. Is it anything in the world we can do?
All right, where is the sap running out? Is it close to the ground, or within 3 feet of the ground, or is it up high in the tree?
It's about head high and down on some of the roots.
Okay, well, and how old is the tree?
It's about 20 years old.
Okay, I'm not saying that it won't get it. Older trees do get it, but if you can go down, on the trunk close to the roots and the gummy sap comes out around the tree, that is probably peach tree borer. No, to answer the question, you can't really do much now. You can try to scrape out the gummy sap and maybe put a flexible wire in there to see if you can pierce the borer if it's inside. That might help. But to control peach tree borers, it's pretty much totally a preventative measure by using bifenthrin. It's sold as Bonide makes a product called borer and miner spray. Just mixing it up in a watering can and drenching the lower 3 feet of the trunk and the soil surrounding the trunk with that. And it's getting in the tail end now of when the moth lays the eggs. So we're already into late September, so I don't really think it's probably going to do much good at this point. But you can give it a try. But it's not going to control the borers that you already have inside the tree.
My goodness.
Yeah. But Carl, he himself had a peach tree that he did not treat last year.
That's right.
But he did take a small flexible wire and found the hole, and he stuck the wire in the hole, and he was able to pierce and kill the actual borer.
Yeah.
So you may want to give that a try.
And I only had one, so I was lucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
You're
your
welcome.
call.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the Gardener's Corner program.
Yes, I'm calling about some bees that we have that are nested in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And we have used some spray and one thing and another, and we can't get rid of them.
What kind of bees are they,
Right
ma'am?
at my back door.
What kind of bees are they?
They are not. Don't look like a honeybee or yellow jacket, anything like that. They look like they kind of brown looking.
All right, it could be either ball-faced hornets or yellow jackets. When you said you sprayed, what did you use and how did you spray?
Well, he used some hornet spray and tried to get it down into the hole in the ground.
Yeah, in the aerosol.
Just dug another hole and come on back out.
All right, you used the stuff that's in the aerosol can?
Yes.
What time of day did you treat?
In the morning.
Yeah, that's...
No. It was at night because we were waiting for them to go on the nest. They were flying so much.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the best time is around dusk, and you have to go and you just saturate the nest. And usually most if not all will be in the nest, and generally that works. Don't take a flashlight with you because they can come out and sting you. But you just keep doing that, and eventually it will work. Because there's two insecticides in those hornet and wasp killer bombs. One is a material that gives a quick knockdown effect of the insects, and then there's another one that has a residual to it, so it kills others, that are inside and might come in contact with it later.
And also, ma'am, it is possible that they could have two holes in the ground. And if you can locate both holes and treat it from both ends,
that's a good idea.
Would be your best bet.
Right.
Well, the first time we did it, they looked like it knocked them down. They didn't, come back at it early the next day. But then the next day, there was another hole that they were all coming out of.
Okay, well, evidently they had a large nest and they had different entry or exit ways. Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck with that, but just be careful around them because they sure can hurt.
That's
okay.
right.
Thank you. Appreciate your call.
Uh-huh.
Carl, we need to get a word on for a couple other sponsors. We'll get a word on for the Halifax County Fair. But while we're getting ready to do that, with the lady talking about the bee problem, and I know we talk about and suggest people using Liquid 7 because it does not affect the honeybee population as bad as the 7 Dust.
Mm-hmm.
If they had some 7 Dust, how would it be to put the 7 Dust at the whole location, so maybe when the bees go in and out, they would take it inside? Reckon that would have any effect at all?
That would help, or you might want to saturate the hive with Liquid 7. Just drench it.
Okay, but just be careful.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a word on for the Halifax County Fair. The 105th Annual Halifax County Fair in South Boston, Virginia, Tuesday, October the 6th through Saturday, October the 10th at the Halifax County Fairgrounds, 1188 James D. Haygood Highway in South Boston, Virginia. Log on to HalifaxCountyFair.com. You'll enjoy good food and fun. The midway is provided by Cole Shows Amusement Company. It's a big bluegrass Saturday, October the 10th, with the Molly Rose Band featuring Linwood Lunsford, Lawson Creek Grass, and Daly in Vincent. For more information, log on to HalifaxCountyFair.com. This is your fair. It's the 105th Annual Halifax County Fair, Tuesday, October the 6th, running through Saturday, October the 10th. The midway opens Tuesday through Friday at 5 p.m. and on Saturday it opens at 12 noon. Remember that big Bluegrass Saturday, October the 10th at the Halifax County Fair, located right behind South Boston Speedway, Highway 360 East in South Boston, Virginia. For more information, log on to HalifaxCountyFair.com. It's the 105th Annual Halifax County Fair. Here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program, and Tell you what, we've got to get a word on for T.G. Brooks Company. We'll take care of that in just a minute. Carl, have you got any other thing that you'd like to make mention of at this time?
No, do we have enough
Oh, we do
time
have
to
a
take?
call. Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the Gardener's Corner program.
Yes, I have a turnip salad patch, and I'm getting them brown spots in it. Looks like an overripe tobacco leaf. What is that? Hurt anything?
No, it's just a leaf spot fungus disease. It's harmless. So just go ahead and the best thing to do is just harvest them. Get rid of the spores that are on those plants. And I used to say, pick some to provide more air circulation. But if the patch is sown real thickly, the best thing to get rid of them is just go ahead and harvest those leaves.
But it won't hurt to eat them.
No, absolutely not.
All right, then. I sowed some yesterday with just dirt instead of mixing it with fertilizer. I've seen that older people do that years ago.
To mix it with fertilizer?
Yeah, I've mixed my seed with fertilizer, and I've mixed it with just dirt and sowed it before.
Yeah, you got to watch it though, because a lot of times if you put too much fertilizer, you can burn the seedlings when they germinate.
Yeah. But he was saying he tried it yesterday with the dirt, mixing the seed with the dirt.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
good.
that's fine.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe that'll work out well for you.
Mhm.
So, hey, appreciate your call. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good questions. Again, if you have any kind of spots or anything on your turnip salad, it's not anything wrong with it. Just go ahead and harvest it. And Carl, I think you had said that sometimes it comes from it more or less getting wet and not getting a lot of sunlight.
Leaves. Well, it's how they're sown. They're sown thickly. The leaves come up and touch each other. Then you have early morning dews that provide the moisture.
Right.
You got two leaves sandwiched together, and that's just an ideal environment for the fungus. And the only thing you can do is, if you don't want to eat those affected leaves, just cut them and get rid of them, and that way too you'll provide with a little more air circulation.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a trip down to T.G. Brooks Company. It's going to be in the very near future that a lot of people is going to be firing up their wood heaters and things. T.G. Brooks Company has stovepipe, and they also have parts for Taylor outside wood furnaces. But right now, here's some more information from T.G. Brooks Company.
Hey, little by little, fall is starting to creep in, and it's time now to get your pansies at T.G. Brooks Company. Also, your collards, cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, and other fall vegetables. They've got them. This is the best time of the year right now to get your yard off to the best start. The best time. Remember to kill those weeds in the lawn and get ready for fall seeding. T.G. Brooks Company has the lawn chemicals to do the job. This is the best time of the year to enrich and repair your lawn. T.G. Brooks Company has the new top choice turf grass seed for greener and plusher lawns. Also available are rental lawn aerators and pull and walk behind pluggers and spreaders. Bag and bulk mulches and bulk planting soil available too. They have your fertilizers and lime. They still have plenty of lawn sprinklers, water hose, and water hose fittings if you need hose repair. If you need yard tools, why, they are in abundance, plus wheelbarrows. Pick up a couple of those nice rakes while you're there. Fresh pine needles are available, and if you are the homeowner or you are the professional landscaper, both get the same kind of service, and they're set up to handle commercial accounts. No matter what part of Person or Durham County, it is worth the drive to come to the one source to handle your fall needs for your lawn and your flower garden. Also, for your Taylor water stoves, they have the parts that you need. They're available. Get them serviced now. Get them set up for wintertime. Parts available at T.G. Brooks on Taylor Water Systems. And they have dog kennels, too. Your family will love you when you finish up the day with a delicious hand-cut ribeye steak that you bought while you're there shopping. And a bowl of homemade ice cream from one of their ice cream freezers will still taste good on these September days. They've been around since 1936. People have trusted T.G. Brooks Company for sound advice when it comes to lawn, garden, and home. They take pride in serving the homeowner, the farmer, and all those in construction. They're at 411 Helena Maria Road, next door to Community Pharmacy in Timberlake.
Here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program, and we've actually went over a little bit of our allotted time, and special thanks goes out to our sponsors, T.G. Brooks Company, the Halifax County Fair, South Boston Memorials, and the Lloyd Granville Agricultural Heritage Association's 9th Annual Harvest Show taking place in Butner, October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. A big old thanks goes out to the big kahuna himself, Mr. Carl Cantalupi.
Thanks for the calls. There's a lot of good calls today.
Yes, and we appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, and hope you found the information that we shared with you today helpful and useful. That's going to wrap it up for the Gardener's Corner program. On behalf of myself and everyone here at the radio station, want to wish you and yours a happy and safe weekend. And I know a lot of your plans will be changing due to the rain, but just enjoy the rain and bear in mind we needed it.
That's right.